Oh my goodness, we finally have the return. This took way too damn long. I was in the middle of recording the video because I said, screw it, it's been 4 hours, we still do not know the return. I'll cut this segment and put it at the beginning of the video for y'all. Here's the return on Hanifin. Vegas acquires Noah Hanifin from Calgary for a first-round pick, Miromanov, and a conditional third that upgrades to a second if Vegas wins a playoff round. There's double salary retention, and Philadelphia is the broker. Thank you, good night, that is what we've been waiting for. Now, let's go back to the very beginning and see where everything began, because this was a multi-hour process. Noah Hanifin has gotten traded from the Calgary Flames to the Vegas Golden Knights because the Vegas Golden Knights always seem to get everybody who is good, and they always seem to get these players to sign extensions with them, and then they flip them later 2 years down the line because they're done with them. Always seems to happen. The reason I'm so gosh darn annoyed is because we had ourselves word at 3 p.m. from Elliotte Friedman. So this is like 4 hours ago. I'm not sure where all of this is going to go, but I am hearing that the Vegas Golden Knights have entered the Noah Hanifin conversation. And all the replies, all the quotes, all the retweets, they're so annoying. Mark Stone going on vacation from March to mid-April every year is really helping them. When does Mark Stone's annual spring injury end? Thank you, Mark Stone, for conveniently being injured. Everybody's memeing about Mark Stone. Now, sure, what is it, like a ruptured spleen? I don't think it's easy for the Vegas Golden Knights to intentionally do that. It's just so crazy how Mark Stone is always the guy that seems to be in this position every single year. I'm not saying it's like a conspiracy, I'm just saying it's a coincidence that hockey fans are not going to live down. Like, that's always going to be brought up. Mark Stone, man, I'd hate to be this guy because now everybody's clowning around in your injury again. But because Stone's making $9-something million a year and his LTIR money is going to be used to allow the Golden Knights to get more players, Noah Hanifin was indeed included in Vegas trade talks 4 hours ago. And then, just half an hour later, we had Ryan Leslie, reporter on NHL Sportsnet and Hockey Night, going out there and saying, yep, I believe Noah Hanifin is heading to Vegas. That was just half an hour after we had seen the initial Elliotte Friedman report. Hanifin to Vegas, okay, what's the return? That's what we were all waiting for. And it's why I held off on making the gosh darn video about it. Then we had ourselves Chris Johnston going out there and confirming the report. Yep, I can confirm Noah Hanifin is heading to VGK. And the replies are all kind of going out there saying the same thing. The league is a joke, cap circumvention, the Jack Eichel and Mark Stone have been activated off LTIR tweet in April is going to hit like crack. Well, there goes that LTIR space. You know, it's interesting. Fans going out there clowning on the situation here. I'll reiterate and I'll say this again. Vegas is doing legal moves. Like, I believe that Mark Stone is indeed injured. Like, actually, I don't think you can fake whatever it is he got, you know. The spleen is kind of tough to go out there and damage internally. Intentionally, I mean, excuse me. So, you know, it's legal. They're allowed to do this. It's just, are fans allowed to dislike it? Yeah. Are fans allowed to joke around about it? Yeah. Does Mark Stone deserve to be a punching bag from fans because he's always seeming to get hurt at the best possible time for his team? I don't know if I'd say he deserves it, but it's certainly a coincidence. Now, after around 3-4 p.m. today, PST, we were just like, okay, what's this trade return going to be? Even Elliotte Friedman on NHL and TNT ended up talking about the trade live as it happened. Like, they're having him on as a show speaker, and then he paused up, and then he's like, wait, hold up. Hanifin's going to Vegas. I can confirm that that's live. And that was a big, crazy moment on TV. Only for the next 4 hours of NHL scheduled programming to not have any semblance of a return. This is Darren Dreger, who tweeted out before 4 p.m. the Vegas Golden Knights and Calgary Flames are completing a trade to send Hanifin to Vegas, but a contract extension is also in the works. And the first reply on the subreddit goes out there and says, with what effing money is Noah Hanifin getting extended? They'll just put Stone on the LTIR all season, every season, until game 1 of the playoffs. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm going to upvote that. Ay, ay, ay. Vegas probably moves on from Jonathan Marchessault. That's my best guess. They are cold-blooded after all. You also have Alec Martinez, who is a UFA. He's 36 years old, so that's $5.25 million a year right there. With Stone on the LTIR and Martinez coming off of the books, Martinez comes off the books next year, so it's probably that. And if you go over to the Vegas Golden Knights and their cap situation, I mean, it's not updated because, of course, Noah Hanifin hasn't technically been traded yet. But Martinez, UFA right there. You've got a few other guys too. Marchessault, Mantha, Chandler Stevenson is a free agent, so there will be some money that the Vegas Golden Knights have to spend here. So if you talk about some of these guys being on the LTIR, Robin Lehner is still on this team technically, plus that Mark Stone contract. There will be some room for the Vegas Golden Knights to get this done, but it doesn't make it easier to stomach for fans who are not Vegas fans. Now, even though we did have this Darren Dreger tweet saying that a contract extension is in the works, Elliot Friedman then quickly rebutted saying, oh, there's no extension as an immediate part of this deal. We'll see what comes, but there's nothing immediate right now. And you're looking at the tweets, right? You're seeing a pattern. Elliot Friedman's very first report was at 3:12 p.m. today, and then Friedman's next report saying that there's no extension, but hey, we're still looking for what's happening. 4:11, so just about 1 hour's worth of work. The NHL went by, nothing really was updated, but all we got was saying, oh yeah, Hanifin's going to Vegas, that's all we know. But over the next few hours, there also was Elliot Friedman on Sportsnet later in the evening saying that there's a third team getting involved to acquire Noah Hanifin at 75% salary retained. So that's a $1.2375 million cap hit per Friedman on Sportsnet. And then we had ourselves later on at 4:55 p.m. Vegas D-man Daniil Miromanov being a part of the deal to Calgary. Now, for Miromanov, this is the defenseman going over to the Calgary Flames. As we had seen on the Cap Friendly page, he is expiring at the end of the season. He is making $700,000. Right-handed guy, 26 years old, 6'4", 201. He's listed as a defense right wing. So if you want to play him at forward, I guess you're capable of doing that if you're Calgary. But he came back from injury recently, had a quick cup of coffee this season, 4 games played, 0 points, 6 points in 5 AHL games though. And in the AHL the past few years, he's actually been a pretty good point producer. 22 points in 31 games last year, 40 points in 53 games the year before that. Also had a 6-point stint with the Vegas Golden Knights in 14 games there. Miromanov is not the biggest needle mover in the world, but he gets the job done. And when you talk about just what exactly the Calgary Flames are doing here, they're getting younger defensemen. Miromanov is a body that can help out. They got Hanley the other day off of waivers from the Dallas Stars. They got Artyom Grushnikov from the Chris Tanev trade. They got Hunter Brzustevich from the Elias Lindholm trade. They're getting themselves younger defensemen, and it's all in preparation for this moment, because Tanev is gone, Zadorov is gone, and now Hanifin is gone too. So Miromanov, he may not be like the most impressive, most fantastic asset involved in the trade, but he's a body. He needed to get things done. And the real value for Calgary is in that first-round pick and third that becomes a second if Vegas wins around. The salary retention on Philadelphia, I mean, look, Danny Briere had some pretty big opportunities to make some splashes here. He just traded away Sean Walker. He just grabbed Ryan Johansson, sent that guy down on waivers, and now he's doing the double salary retention for Noah Hanifin, a big beast of a defender who's going over to Vegas for a $1.23 million AAV cap hit. 27 years old, 6'3", 216, left-handed guy. 35 points in 61 games played this season. He was the prized defenseman on the market. And look, does this not surprise you? Does this not remind you of like the Alex Pietrangelo acquisition from a few years ago? This is almost exactly the same thing. Same kind of player, same position, heading over to Vegas when everybody thought it was impossible. Vegas just cannot keep getting away with this. And he would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you darn kids. Okay, no, sorry. But long story short, I'm frustrated. Everybody was frustrated because this trade, after it was announced at 3:44 p.m., we didn't get the confirmation as to what the trade return would be until gosh darn 4 hours later. So thank you, Darren Dreger. Miromanov is going to sign an extension. Okay, so he'll stick around in Calgary. So everybody's getting an extension, right? We'll talk about the Noah Hanifin extension at a later date, but for now, this seems to be the case here. Noah Hanifin has been traded over to Calgary for Daniil Miromanov, a first and a third that becomes a second if Vegas wins a round. Thoughts in the comment section below about this trade. We finally know the details. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.